Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, My Hero Academia edition. Today, we have our monthly case study, My Hero Academia episodes, but we got a little twist for y'all. If you follow us on Instagram and saw from the last episode, we were doing the 2-on-2 with all of the people from Class 1A and Class 1B in the mix, did it from random. And then we have the matchup of Momo, the superhero name, Everything Hero, correct T. And we have Shoji, Mezzo Shoji, aka the Tentacle Hero, Tentacle, like the Pokemon, going up against Rule Koda, aka Koda, and everyone's favorite mushroom girl, Shimage, Komori. Of course, we have the My Hero enthusiast with us, Andrea. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. And we have a special guest on the My Hero pod. We have the Shadow Hashira, Niki from the Naruto What If battle, stepping into My Hero. How you doing today, man?
Man, I can't complain. Here we are.
Niki did say on the end of year pod that he was going to hop into some My Hero ones every now and again. And here we are on your first one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
All right, guys. So we got these four competitors, 2-on-2. Both are from Class 1A on 1B, each on the team. Andrea.
Yes.
So when you were the one who picked the numbers.
I did.
And these were the matchups. At first, when you saw these four individuals and the teams, what did you think?
My first thought was, oh no, because we have Momo versus Mushroom Girl again.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you pointed it out real quick about how Momo's my favorite, which she is. And then if you heard me talking about those fights, you know, I'm not a fan of Little Mushroom Girl. So it was just like, oh my gosh, yes, my random pick, I got Momo. But I also managed to get one of my less favorite female characters. So it was, a little bittersweet, but definitely an interesting matchup.
Niki, when you saw the people listed on the Instagram of the four people who are going to be fighting the 2-on-2, what did you think initially?
I was like, oh, team 1B, interesting. I forget who one of you are. I remember Mushroom Girl. I knew exactly who that was as soon as I read the name. I looked at the other one. I was like, oh, who are you? I'm going to have to look you up. And then I saw my boy Shoji. I was like, oh, I love Shoji.
Okay.
And then my homegirl, y'all, Momo. I was like, all right.
So, Niki, you want to throw some respect to you because not a lot of people like Shoji. Like, he doesn't get that much screen time. So
he deserves more. He deserves more love. He really does. He's such a good character. It's just he doesn't get a lot of punch through shine. At least he hasn't yet.
Yeah. So, Niki, you're the first person who openly stated that they like Shoji.
Yeah, I think they do him dirty. They always make him just like a recon person, like stay back, look for the enemy, listen for the enemy. But I'm like, you read his My Hero thing and you just watch his fights. He's obviously tough. He could duplicate his arms, so he can obviously duplicate him into more arms. I just feel like they hold him down way too much than what he should be. And his design is hard. I actually do like his design.
Right. I think it's so cool. And I mean, that's one of the things that they have harped on about him is well, why does he cover his face? And he's kind of alluded to he covers his face for the benefit of others. I cannot wait for either the face reveal or the backstory to figure out what the heck is going on. But I love his design. I do.
So before we actually get into the fight, sticking on talking about the people involved, where this is on the spot, they were not prepped for this question, but where would you put Shoji and Momo in the hierarchy of Class 1A? Are they in the top 5 strongest? Are they in the top 7, 10? There's only 20, so 15.
I don't know. This is really difficult off the dome. My gut is to say Momo would be in the top 10, but she's not very physically strong from what we've seen so far. She doesn't really have much fighting capability other than making weapons, which is great. But when it comes to hand-to-hand, as we've talked about, not really showing a lot. So I want to put her in the top 10. I'm not sure. Shoji, I don't know. I don't know if he cracks top 15. And that's not to say that I don't like him or that he's not strong. It's just, I mean, I definitely put him above Mineta. I definitely put him above Aoyama. Put him above Invisible Girl.
You want to talk about how bad he's been done dirty? I can make a case all three of the people you've named have had bigger moments in the series than him.
Well, they have, and that's why they've done him so dirty. Like, yes, I know.
Nikki, what do you think? Like those two names, when you think of Class 1A, obviously we know the three you think of automatically, the boys, Midoriya, Bakugo, Todoroki, and then you got Toriyama. Who do you like? Do you think of those two in the top 5, top 10 strongest people in the class?
Not top 5. I thought Shoji was definitely like he hovering around 10, in my opinion, because he is physically strong, fast, and all that. Because he's carried multiple people on his back while booking it. He's physically strong. We've seen that. His arms can withstand damage. He could duplicate them. He's good at reconnaissance. He's smart. He's not the smartest. That's Momo. She up there. So I think he's hovering around 10 just because of his physical abilities and the fact he is good with his quirk.
I'm going to throw this to y'all because I have, obviously from the Instagram, I have Class 1A and Class B's pictures. I'm going to give you this. Is he even the strongest in his row of seating? So from 7 through 12, Denki's number 7, seat 7. Kirishima's 8. Koda's 9. Saito's 10, Shoji's 11, and Jiro's 12. Is he even the strongest person in that row?
In that row, strongest? No. He can beat a few of people in his row, but I don't think he's the strongest in his row. I do think he is stronger than, did you say, what was the name? Is it Sugar Rush guy?
They're next to each other.
Oh, that's right. So he's not in the same row.
No, they're in the same. Like I meant like row, like seat 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
I don't know. I don't know who I'd pick in a one-on-one fight between the two. I really don't.
I give it to Shoji because he can make more arms. And also, I mean, it's difficult to continue to eat while you're fighting. So if he needs more carbs to continue like being as strong as he is or to get stronger, it's a little difficult, to pop a food pill like Shoji in Naruto. Unless you've got the space and the time, whereas, Shoji would just keep walloping on him constantly like a punching bag with all of his arms.
Nikki, what do you think?
Sorry, got an unexpected phone call.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, I'm sorry. We were talking about row.
Yeah, so do you think... I got to go back. Like in terms of Shoji, because he has Denki. Yeah. I mean, he's not stronger than Kirishima. That's a hell no. He's getting mopped. Just because of... Because of plot, bro, Kirishima was in the raid. Shoji was at home.
Wait, it's not the same picture as what's on the...
On Instagram, yeah. I'm about to pull it up, too, because I'm like,
If not, I will post link in the thing.
Okay, because I'm looking at it. I see Sato, Koda, and Jiro. Or if you go up and down, I see Kaminari, Todoroki, Mineta, and Asu. So I was like, wait, who are we talking about?
Yeah, so Shoji, I guess across, so it's going across.
Uh-huh.
So like Denki, Kirishima, Koda, Saito, Shoji, and Jiro from the official page. One moment. But I was just bringing up that for the fact that they, just thinking about like Shoji, he doesn't get really talked about as much, especially in the guy standpoint, because it's really, a 2-man down to 3. Technically, if you do 4, if depending on where you're talking about in the series, I mean, every guy, almost half the guys have gotten shine in a big moment, except for him. Like, I cannot think of any. The last moment I think of him is when he tried to protect those kids in the second movie, and 9 blasted his ass.
Right.
Oh, see, I didn't watch the movies. I've only seen. I've seen the newest one. I've seen the newest one.
Well, the other 2 are, you could buy those or you could just try and find them, stream those. Because they're
highly highly recommend. Oh my god, the second one is my favorite by far. I know Martin likes the third one over the second one, but oh my gosh, I love the second movie.
The third movie, the bad guy nuked a town in the first 3 minutes. You don't start worse than that.
It's true, but like, oh my god, that second movie's so good.
Like, there were stakes. The second movie, no one died, really. The third movie, whole town.
Spoiler alert, Nikki hasn't seen it.
Well, he'll be all right on that part. I didn't say, like, oh, how'd they win? Because, Nikki, I would say you probably do need to, because they all are in the canon thing, like, in terms of the anime.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hence why they keep like they're gonna have a fourth one because the third one did really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like their gap thing, but no, they're on digital. But then when you look at like Class 1B, obviously Nikki, I'm assuming the one you didn't know was Rule. You had to look her up, the girl with the black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, her quirk is really good.
Yeah, she can manipulate size, but she ain't exactly doing nothing with that.
No.
Well, right. We didn't really see her do much. The only reason I specifically, like, when I saw the name, like, before you even, like, shared the photos of the classes, I knew who she was because her hat and her costume reminds me of Pokemon.
Ash. Yeah.
And the way her hair and face is designed reminds me of Midoriya's mom. Slightly, like, a little bit. So, like, for whatever reason, she's stuck in my head. So that's why I remembered her. And then just reading over her bio, I completely missed it the first watch through, but she has to utilize her quirk the same way that Uraraka does, that she has to touch her fingertips. It's like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's something on like on the trivia, how they're Uraraka and hers like character designer divided the same thing, even almost similar name and quirk. But I would say was the reason she didn't really get to, I mean, she did fight in the finale fight of Class 1A and Class B, and she was like altering the size and stuff, but we didn't get to see Midoriya's in that fight. So like screen time was cut, and his team had to win because other people's teams were stinking up the joint. They were. I mean, besides Froppy, Bakugo, and Midoriya's teams, the other Class 1A teams were booty.
Oh.
So, going to the 2-on-2, Andrea, how would you think this fight would go with these two mixtures? Like, how do you think this would go?
I do want to ask one clarifying question first. Are they kind of doing the same, like, are they fighting in the same setup that they did the, like, 1A versus 1B battles in the anime, or are we doing the whole, like, grassy plain out in the open scenario?
Technically, in this universe, they haven't even had like a grassy plains fight.
Right.
No, it's all been city.
Yeah, it's all been. So I guess for their hero standpoint, it has to be in the city, like the training exercise.
Okay, cool. So when I first looked at the teams, my automatic thought was like, okay, again, I love Shoji. I just feel like, at least from what we've seen so far, he doesn't have a lot of diversity. Whereas I feel like in a 2-man team, Momo needs somebody who is more versatile. But thinking back on that was a little rude. Underestimated Shoji just a little bit. But that was my immediate thought, as well as like, Mushroom Girl, automatic L, because like she can just, make mushrooms that are going to make people stop freaking breeding. Like, but thinking it through, I think Momo and Shoji would come out on top of this one, because between Mushroom Girl and oh my goodness, what's her name?
Rule. Her hero name is Rule.
Yeah, Rule. I don't think one of the two of them, at least, were really shown to be much of strategists. And their two quirks don't quite mesh together very well. Like, they can still work as a team, and I think they would work as a team fairly well. But I mean, Rule's quirk can only, work on inanimate and non-living objects. So she couldn't manipulate the mushrooms, or maybe an argument could be made that she could manipulate the spores, but why would you want to make the spores bigger? That would make it more obvious, like, how to avoid them. or where to target that, whatever. So I think that helps Momo and Shoji have like the edge, because I do think with Momo's creation quirk being extremely versatile and having such a good strategic mind, I think they would pull it out. I do.
Okay. Nikki, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't really think Team 1B's class really stands a chance, in my opinion.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
Andrea said, their quirks don't really go together. And Rule, like I'd watched clips of that fight.
Mm-hmm.
She can make things bigger, but the only reason they were flying at the enemy was because the other two quirks. Like it's not like she really controlled them. So I mean, she could throw like rocks or something and make them big. It's like okay. And then I think a big advantage is Shoji, because they always ask him to search.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna spot those two before Team 1B spots Momo and him. And then I mean, we watched Momo create a cannon in her fight.
Right.
And that's a huge advantage. And she's fought the Mushroom Girl. So she definitely has all the experience with that. The one tricky thing is, I guess, if the Mushroom Girl does what she did to Tokoyami,
who's in the top 5 strongest of Class 1A.
No doubt, of course. But it's like, I still think the not having good recon is going to be a disadvantage for them, especially in a big city like that.
Right.
So I agree with a lot of the points. And I think, I know I am always hard on Miss Momo because she has a lot of potential and then she just gets thrown in the trash bin. My thing is, I was thinking about that too a couple weeks ago where Andrea is like, well, Momo's seen her fight now, yada, yada, yada. But then I was just thinking about like, doesn't everyone know what everyone almost does at that school? I mean, of course, Class 1A, they've been on TV multiple times. So you have a thing of their quirks. And obviously we didn't see it at Class 1B because they're not on TV as much, but maybe the other students did. My thing is Momo is the smartest person there. That is true. And with her quirk, she can do some things. My thing is with Mushroom Girl, though, she can do her quirk on almost anything. Like she could spread those spores and they could be in an instant. So Mai was just thinking like a solid surface is a non-living thing. So Rule can make that surface, like they can alter that size, not the mushroom, but that surface size. So if that surface expands and the mushroom stuff gets around, because I was thinking about Shoji, like he is sensory and he's strong, like Nikki said, with the hands and all that stuff. But if Mushroom Girl like put some mushrooms in all of his eyes, like she's the only person here who has the ability to actually like kill the other people.
Right. But I feel like with Momo already knowing how her quirk works, she already knows that she's going to need, an antifungal, to prep the two of them very early on in the fight. But she figured it out during her initial fight against her to help her teammates to like get the mushrooms off of them. Of course, she didn't see the whole mushroom in the throat situation, but since she saw what happened to Tokoyami, I think she would automatically prep masks as well, even potentially like gas mask level, so they can't breathe in any spores. I also think this might be going a tad too far, and might be unnecessary, but so Mushroom Girl actually uses those two like guns as like essentially they're humidifying guns to like be able to grow her mushroom. I'm pretty sure Momo could whip up a giant ass dehumidifier, like if they manage to meet up with them in an enclosed space instead of outside. That dehumidifier would cut her ability to make mushrooms, not completely, but would limit the amount she could make and or spread around. So I just feel like Momo would be able to figure it all out.
But I guess at the time of the dehumidifier, would that be enough? Because when she's making like bigger stuff, she's open. to attack.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they said it, Mushroom Girl can cover a whole terrain in like minutes. So it's like when Shoto does his ice, if you remember Shoto versus Midoriya, Shoto started with the ice, and it was, if Midoriya didn't have his quirk, he would have been done. So would they be able to, is she quick enough to make whatever stuff before the mushrooms go? Because once you can have a mask all right now in 2022 and still catch COVID. So if you have a whole bunch of that poisonous mushroom stuff, like how strong of a mask are we going to be making here? Because she's the only reason I think they could win. Like Rule, I mean, if she had like a utility belt of like bombs and stuff, that'd be very problematic. But I really just feel like it comes down to Momo's intelligence and Mushroom Girl's versatility. Like the way she put down Tsukuyomi, that I was just like, ooh, this is rough. Because if you don't knock her out and you touch her and then she puts that stuff on you, you're done. Because like you said, you're not going to be able to fight if you have mushrooms in your throat being poisoned. But I don't know. It might come down to Niki's guy, though, because he's going to be the sensory type. And he is physical, too. I just feel like you got to take out Mushroom Girl first, and then Rule is easy in all due respect. And then she'll come out in the season 6, and then she'll have a utility belt where she has like freaking atomic bombs, and then we look like idiots. But
it remains to be seen for her own moment, because truly, like Nikki brought up, I kind of forgot that the reason all of those growing objects were flying around was because of Poltergeist quirk. So she doesn't have Poltergeist as a partner. I mean, she's stuck, somehow launching things or throwing things herself, which kind of can limit her mobility. But we didn't really see her with a whole lot of, different types of weapons, like you're mentioning, like bombs. I'm also thinking like shuriken or, just knives, just whatever.
Well, technically, their whole battlefield's a non-living object.
Yeah.
So she can alter that. That could slow some things down.
Yeah.
Have we seen her alter big size things? Like I don't recall, but
no, we've only seen her fight once. Like she has the ability to literally make something bigger and then retract it back to normal size or smaller. So she literally has like MCU reference. She has Ant-Man's like PIM particles.
Mm-hmm.
So like she has all that ability, but we only seen her fight that one time. And her team lost to Midoriya and Uraraka's team. So, and we don't know like, because she didn't get like fleshed out. We don't know if she's like super smart or like fighting smart. She was perceived as like just the cool girl, which on a side note, apparently she had boys made a fan club of her in middle school from the My Hero Academia book. Just because she was so cool and just minded her own business.
Good for her.
I was gonna say I could see it. It's the attitude. She kind of has the same sort of like, I don't want to say full personality because we don't know her that well, but same kind of like cool, level-headed, almost don't care kind of like Levi from Attack on Titan. Just like there, comes off as mysterious, so therefore you're cool. She's also pretty, so it's like it's not that hard to make the jump that she probably had a fan club.
Right. But no, I agree. I would give it to Momo and Shoji on this one just because of Rule. We don't know much. Now, if Mushroom Girl was with Kendo, Momo's team would get smoked. I was just looking at like Class 1B and like the other, or the Tree Girl, smoked. Because you can't have the trees and the that'd be terrible.
That would be really bad.
And then even the asshole of the team of Class 1B, Mr. Blank Blank, whatever his name is. What's his hero
Monoma?
name? Yeah, Monoma.
Yeah.
Phantom Thief. That is a very good hero name.
That is a bomb name. Why does he have to suck at have such a bad personality? Ugh.
But no, I think Momo and then would take it, which that would be good because, Momo doesn't really get wins on here. Canon-wise, this is the biggest win Momo's ever gotten.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I feel like, okay. Preface. It would be the biggest win after already losing to Mushroom in this team. my personal favorite victory for her is her victory over the chick whose literal quirk was intelligent. Freaking, oh my God, I love that. Like, not a full on fight scene, but I love that whole setup. I love that she came out on top of that. It just, I love that. That tops it for me. But obviously, if this was canon and she did get a rematch against Mushroom Girl, yes, it would be.
I guess more
her best
because that one against Intelligence was with the team, though, right? It was like it was a group of people. It was
her, Shoji, Sue, and Jiro. But Sue was incapacitated because she was hibernating essentially because they were making it too cold. Everybody was, basically freezing. Shoji was trying to wrap Asui up to make sure that she, didn't actually, like, I'm guessing die, unfortunately. And then Jiro was was completely taken out of the picture too because somebody was tapping the pipe. So when she tried to put her earphone jack in the wall, she couldn't hear anything. So, I mean, it all came down to Momo. The only reason they pulled through is because Momo was able to think things through and figure out how to utilize everybody appropriately, given the situation.
That makes sense. I don't know, because it's like, one, that was in season 3, so that was like 3 seasons ago. That's one thing. 2, that is her only win. She got her ass smacked by Toriyama.
By Tokoyami. Yeah.
Seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Got smoked, but like it was one of those things, like she came in, she was highly recommended, all of that stuff. But then when she got in a real fight, she got smoked. And then her confidence was gone until like Shoto. And I was like, oh, well, here we go there.
It's not even fully back yet.
It's not.
Really? I don't think it's fully back yet. Mm-mm.
Because like her confidence, and then it also went down. She got smacked in that. Her internship, she didn't do anything.
Right.
Like she was basically an aide, and then did the commercials and stuff. Season 3, you had that. 4, non-existent, like 0. And then 5, you had this like arc thing where she lost. So it's like, because at the beginning of the show, beside like when it first started, you were like, oh, this girl's going to be like the strongest person in the class. She's the VP, all of that jazz. And then you're just like, oh, Uraraka just passed her. Oh, Sue just passed her. So it's like, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 6 girls.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's very, very few. Like, somehow it feels like there's more girls in Class 1A than there are. Like, I just don't understand how that works. But yeah, there's only 6 out of a class of 20.
Yeah, because I've always felt like there was more girls in the class than the guys. But I also feel like that's because most of the guys, they get put to the back burner.
That, and I feel like for a lot of My Hero isn't really like a slice of life anime, but I think they try to incorporate some of that in there. And a lot of that focuses, like, the girls are the primary focus, like wanting to see everybody's rooms. With the Christmas stuff, I mean, Ashido was big on, hey, Bakugo, like, put your Santa stuff on. Like I don't know how, but it just seems like the girls are constantly at the forefront, even if it's not necessarily in a action fighting capacity.
Nikki, what would you want out of Momo? And I mean, and so obviously her battle record isn't like that stellar, but to even go further, if Momo wasn't pretty, like, how much in the story would she even be in the story?
I don't know. They really do got to give her some more. Like, she's super smart, and they always show her smart shining. Like, even in that fight where she lost against Kendo, like they still showed her brains, but it's like, has she not gotten stronger in the slightest, or like do something with all the
That's
weapons
really
she
hard
can create?
to tell.
Because she's created multiple different weapons, but it's not like she's gone crazy against anybody in a fight.
That's a good point. Like, I can't definitively say she's stronger in season 6 than she was in season 3. Like, it's never been stated like, oh, she can create things 3 times faster now, or like she needs like less lipid, like, to make more stuff because she's they've never they've kept her the same. Like the person that Andrea hates. Even Mineta has shown that he is a lot stronger from
Mina?
season 3 to season 5.
The acid girl? Is she stronger than her?
On that note, I will.
Like she's definitely smarter. Definitely smarter.
I think it depends on what capacity.
And like a one-on-one fight, yeah, smart.
Well, right. But it's just with Mina, because she's so bubbly and a little bit absent-minded, in my opinion. I feel like Momo would be able to still beat her, but to be like physically stronger, I feel like, you know, Mina definitely would win that in like physical, maybe attack capabilities.
How would she hit her though? She would just burn everything that she throws.
Right. Unless, I mean, Momo's studied up on it and can now create, you know, something that is impermeable to the acid or whatever. Because Mina's acid has to have some sort of weakness at some point. So far, we've seen it melt everything, but well, actually, her shoes don't melt, do they?
No, like her stuff doesn't melt. Like she's actually she earned 9th place on the quirk apprehension test. She can use like the acid to make shields and all of that stuff and protect her people. She has the fastest reflexes of any female in class 1A and of the most overall students in said class. I think the only 2 she's behind are Bakugo and Midoriya. And that's huge. And like they said, obviously she improved. She was able to switch between the different acid base techniques because that's tough, man. She can make acid veils, shots. Like she is strong and she does not get that much screen time.
Not in any meaningful way.
Meaningful season, like the inspiration of Hiroshima, that was meaningful.
Not in her own right.
In her own right.
Not in her own right. She had that moment as like, you know, in Kirishima's background, she had her quote unquote moment, you know, during the Class 1A, Class 1B fights. But it was more so a show for Mineta to have the ability to make a joke about bumping into her chest.
Well, her and Mineta, they did take out most of that group.
They did.
Like they took out most of that class while Midoriya was going crazy with his next quirk and Uraraka had to come and Shinsho, because they were the ones actually fighting the group, the lackeys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a good question.
They're not lackeys. That's the thing is they're not actually lackeys. It's just
lackeys in regards to that fight because they were not the main people because the main people were off on the other side. But Nikki, that's actually a good question. I would have to really think in a one-on-one fight. That's a good because she ain't beating Uraraka. Froppy's whooping her ass.
Oh, for sure.
That's actually a good. And I love Jiro, but she's not in it. No, she's new. No.
She's not a fighter. Not really.
But my thing with Momo is the longer the fight goes, and if things aren't going her way, her confidence gets worse and worse.
That's true.
And if
she's gonna run out of lipids.
That is true too. I just thought if Mina just went and got super close and just burnt her chest off, that's a lot of lipids gone.
Well, that is something else. You know, logically speaking, if she's using up her lipids, I think it's in the second movie, Nikki, where there's actually a comment made about that she can't make any more because she has no more lipids. Or her chest is still huge.
Anime logic.
I'm sorry. That is a huge reserve of lipids. Your chest and your butt. Sorry, it is. So also I feel like if she really wants to use her quirk to a larger capacity, she's going to have to pull a fat gum and just be larger.
That ruins, unfortunately, this is anime's a money talks thing. That ruins sales for her.
I know.
And her voice actor's not seen as much, and she ain't making more money. She's not a search thing on the internet. Yeah, you gotta have the money come to these actors. They need it. And if you're not a main character, you're getting money based on your person's looks.
I never thought about that.
I'm just being honest. Oh, absolutely. she is not in the top 5 strongest people at all, but she is probably one of the top
She's in the
most liked.
I was gonna say she's probably like within the top 5, if not just outside top 5 for favorite characters.
Absolutely. That's not even. She's probably top. I'd probably say 4. I don't know. I have to say 4. I'd say 4.
I just know for sure Todoroki and Bakugo are way up there. I just don't know if Midoriya would be number 3 or not. Well,
I think Momo's more liked than Uraraka, and I don't really have an issue with Uraraka, but I just think Momo's more liked because of the physical appearance. But it's not like Uraraka's not a slouch either, but it just compared, none
of them are.
That's the other thing.
No such thing.
Well, technically, if you were going from that point, Jiro is a slouch, but she's also one of the most talented.
See, but I don't
from
know.
their standpoint.
Obviously, it comes down to preference, but it's not like Jiro's ugly. I understand that she's not bodaciously curvy like the other characters, but it's not like she's unattractive.
That is well in her head. When Minato named everyone to peep on instead of her, she got jealous. So there's some body confidence issues in Jiro, but she can sing her ass off. Which that was one of my favorite episodes when she actually got some shine and everyone's like, oh, you are so sweet. All of that jazz. So for class 1B though, which I think they have more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls. I thought, wow, they look like they have a lot more. I guess outside of Kendo, if you would have paired Mushroom Girl with someone else to make this match more competitive, who would it have been?
Are you saying out of the girls or out of
class? Out of class 1B. And technically it was a random thing. So it could have been anyone in class 1A.
Oh.
What if it was Mushroom Girl and Bakugo?
Legit A versus B.
Yeah, it was all random. They're all random names.
It was chance.
Wow,
It was pure chance that we actually had a team that was 1A and a team that was 1B.
And Andrea and picked the 2 numbers. Oh yeah, it was anyone. You could have had Midoriya and her, Shoto and her, Tsukuyomi and her. You could have had one of the heavy hitters with that girl. Then it would have been, oh boy. Mm-hmm.
Well, you already mentioned putting her with the Vine chick Ibarra. That would have been interesting. But for best matchup as a teammate for Mushroom Girl, actually, I think it's the Shadow Guy. I think the Shadow Guy would be really, really good because he can hop in and under the shadows of the mushroom, pop out unexpectedly. Also, I remember reading something. Don't remember if it was the wiki, but he was actually mentioned as one of the better pairs for her. I don't remember who the other 2 they mentioned were.
I almost thought of Koda just having a flock of eagles dropping these mushrooms down on you, or having animals come from underground with those mushrooms. That'd be dangerous. Who also, I love his ability too.
His ability is great. They need to amp him up a little bit more too.
So that is. So Andrea, do we want to do another 2-on-2 for next time, or what do you want to do? Because if we do, we can run the generator right now.
I think it'd be interesting to see to do this again, just because this was the first one. I would like to do another one,
and I'm hoping it is a mixture because I really thought it was going to be class A versus class B. So a mixture of both classes. I want to see that happen now, actually.
Ooh. Well, let's see.
So then Nikki, let Nikki pick the numbers.
Alrighty. Hopefully this goes right. Bear with me. Okay. All right. So teams of 2. Oh, no, we got 20. All right, Nikki, pick a number between 1 and 20. Team 13 is who the hell is that? No, I knew. No, I knew. No, I knew who they are. It's Koda and Toru. So Invisible Girl. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Koda.
Yeah.
That's both class 1A.
Yeah, we don't want that. Hold on. Let's see if we can
run it again.
Actually, well, no, there is. I'm actually looking at some. There are mixtures, but that one was just. Do you want to stick with 13? You want to pick a different number, Nikki? All right, so you want? Let me run this. Let me generate teams. Boom. All right, I'm looking. There's some different ones on here. There's some different ones. So if we did 13.
All right. Let's do 5.
Let's see. So Nikki, pick the numbers. Wow. Now 5 is wow.
What is it?
Jesus.
Who we got?
Tokoyami and Bakugo. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, that other team better have Todoroki or Midoriya in there. Oh my god.
Midoriya.
Unless they have Monoma. They might have a chance with Monoma. Oh my god.
Let me see who's on. I can actually look who's on Midoriya's team. Let me make sure I get this person's name. Midoriya's team is number 8. And Midoriya's team is him and the Mushroom Girl.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to do 8, but let me see where Shoto's at. Oh no, Shoto's with the class 1A. He's with Mina.
That would be kind of really cool. You've got acid, ice, and fire. Damn.
It's up to Nikki, man. It's up to the numbers. If you want to keep 5 and pick a different number, like if you want Midoriya's team, that is 8. But if you want 5 and someone else,
I was about to say.
The
one thing is they would have to fight separately
because that's actually a little too dangerous.
Because Tokoyami's quirk won't work with Bakugo. So, but like one-on-one fights, who's really beefing with those
cancel each other out, yeah.
Outside of Todoroki and Midoriya.
I know.
Right.
All right.
Right. So it's like, that's just not fair.
All right. This is the last one, random one, Nikki. 2 numbers and we're locking it in.
Let's hope it works. 3 and 14.
Yep. 3. We got Mina and Ridiko Saito.
14.
So that's team 3. And then you said 3 and what? Oh, this is. I think this one will actually be different, and then that is team 14. That's different. They don't. Actually, these are people who really don't get shine like that.
All right.
Well, it's Twinkling and Mush. Man, that girl gets picked every fucking time. But all right. Some people. Mina, we were just talking about her. That is good. Andrea, was Mina, I know she was at least honorably mentioned on our top 10 strongest people.
Yes, I think she was. I just put that list away somewhere not long ago. Dang it. I literally just had it the other day.
All right, but we got Sugar Rush and Acid versus Mushrooms, and I Can't Stop Twinkling for next month. All right. As Andrea goes to look for the list.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm not going to be able to find it.
It's fine. But that is it. We'll have closing with Andrea and Nikki, and then we'll close it out. So, Andrea, go ahead.
Thanks, y'all, for listening to us talk about these, random My Hero fights. We have fun discussing, a Naruto What If battle, so it's nice to be able to bring it over to My Hero just a little bit. But yeah, just follow us on social media. Please interact with us as much as you feel comfortable. We definitely want to hear your thoughts, what you think. If you feel like we might have some hot takes, or we want to hear y'all's hot takes. But yeah, we just want to hear more from you guys. And we appreciate you listening.
Awesome. Nikki?
As always, shout out to the fans for listening. Tune in, keep showing love. Shout out to Andrea for letting me hop on to her My Hero podcast and dabbling in this universe. So I'm here for it. I'm excited for next month's fight because these are always fun considering I do the Naruto What If battles.
Thank you, Andrea and Nikki, for being on talking some My Hero for the L7C podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure you tune in next month. We got acid, sugar, mushrooms, and twinkling lights. That's going to be a very interesting battle for people who don't get that much shine, but it's seeming like Miss Mushroom Girl is trying to take over the podcast. By the time you listen to this, we did talk about the Naruto ones. This month's Naruto one that we're going to be doing, not in a couple of weeks, we get to choose 2 things that we would change in the entire Naruto verse, which is going to be very, very interesting. So be on the lookout for that. I'm pretty sure that one is going to be some hot take changes galore. But with that being said, thank you, everyone, for listening to the L7C podcast. Signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.